Hey guys, today is going to be a different type of video. I'm doing a collaboration with a couple of other people from my YouTube community. The links to their channels and video will be down in the description below, so check out their stories. But this is going to be a story time video, and a couple of the girls had ideas of like run-ins with the law and stuff like that, but I don't have any stories like that because the only time I've ever had any encounter with the cops is from speeding. So that's not very interesting, and most of the time they've let me go. But I'm going to share with you my horror story from when I did go to school. I was originally going to share like my most embarrassing moment from when I was at college, but I think this trumps it. And maybe if you guys enjoy story time with me, I'll share that story, but this one is kind of like my horrific, embarrassing story. When I was about 5, my mom put me in public school, and I entered kindergarten. Great, right? So I was in this school from K through 4th grade. Now by the time I got to 1st grade, I was 6, and things were okay. Kindergarten seemed like a breeze. I got into a lot of trouble because my mom would get my report cards that said, Stephanie is a talkative one. And I was, and I still am. But then at 1st grade, we had this really mean teacher, Mrs. Brown. The kids in class would get in trouble all the time. There was always something, always someone getting in trouble. So one day, the class was acting up, just making a ruckus, making noise, not listening. And when somebody would act up, the whole class would be in trouble. Well, for our punishment, she had us all put our heads down on our desks and not raise them until she said so. Now this was kind of the end of the day, so we were going to be going home soon, and we were just all silent with our heads down. But I had to pee. Boy, did I have to pee. So I raised my hand with my head down, and she called on me, and I said, I have to use the bathroom. And she told me, you cannot use the bathroom. Everyone is punished, so are you, so you must keep your head down. So I waited and waited. I raised my hand again. I really have to go to the bathroom. I can't hold it any longer. She refused, completely refused, and said, no, everyone's in trouble. You must keep your head down. And if you have to pee, then go on yourself. She literally said that to me. So I was like, okay, I can't hold this any longer. It hurts so bad, I'm just gonna let it go. And I was embarrassed because I'm a kid and I'm doing this in my seat in front of all my classmates, and I was just bawling. And someone let the teacher know that I did go on myself, and it was a lot. When you have to go so bad, it's usually because you have a lot that you're holding. And she said, all right, well, as punishment, since you guys are punished, you all need to get paper towels and clean it up. Now, by this point, I was mortified because here I am, peed on myself, and now my classmates have to clean it up. Not even me. They have to clean it up, and I'm just bawling my eyes out on the desk. I eventually go home once everything's done and school's out. I never say a word to my mother. And I usually just go home, try to change real quick without, much noticing, and then not say anything. My mom never knew up until way later. I don't even know when I told her. But that was 1st grade. Then in 2nd grade, I had a bully. And she would always take my lunch money from me. It was weird because I watch like television shows nowadays where they have bullies and stuff like that, and I'm like, that's so stupid, whatever, you can fend for yourself. But I was in that position. I really was, and I feared her because she was kind of hefty, and you wouldn't stereotypically, not that I'm saying this, but stereotypically people wouldn't think that an Asian person could be a bully, but it was for me. So I let her be that way to me for like all of 2nd grade, and then by 3rd grade I got my bearings and I said, no, you're not gonna do this to me. And me standing up to her made her stop, because she thought she could just take advantage of me. And when she realized that I'm a big girl and you're not gonna do this, she backed off. So if you are struggling with bully, odds are they're insecure and they know that they could take advantage of you. So stick up for yourself, because you might be surprised what would happen. 3rd grade, I had a great teacher, Mrs. Booker, and she was sweet and kind, but kids weren't. And I was called all sorts of names. I had these big old glasses, which are back in style now, but not back then. And they used to call me Four Eyes, and they would call me Step on Me, just the craziest things. And then one time it was picture day, and my mom dressed me up in a dress. She put makeup on me. Here I am, what, maybe 8 years old, 7 or 8 years old. My mom put makeup on me just for the pictures, and the boys in school started calling me a hooker. And I'm like, I don't know what these words are. I'm 7 years old. So of course I go home and I ask my mom, what does hooker mean? And my mom was like mortified, because she's like, where'd you get that word? Why are you saying that word? And I said, a boy said it to me, because I was all, you know, dressed up. And I don't know, I was so upset. Finally, 4th grade, I had the same teacher as 2nd grade. Thank God I didn't have 1st grade teacher again. But we had a very horrible principal. Horrible. We had like a special needs program in our school, and he would just treat them badly. So we're talking 1993 in public school, where they didn't have the rules against bullying. They didn't have the rules against laying your hand on another person's child, or even laying a hand on your own child. Like, everything was just the way it was, and nobody said anything against it. So the special needs child, I don't know what was going on. I don't know the whole story, but they did eat lunch with us, and something happened that he disrespected or he didn't listen, and the principal backhanded this special needs child in front of us. Like, no shame, nothing, just backhand. And we were all in shock. Nothing happened to the principal, believe it or not. And he screamed at all of us and saying, if you guys disrespect and don't listen, I'm gonna feed you the same thing that these kids eat. So they had different food, like pureed foods and stuff like that. So obviously we had different kinds of foods that we ate for lunch. So he was like threatening us that if we didn't listen, he would feed us the pureed food that these special needs kids eat. Which, I'm not sure if they all needed a puree diet, but that's what they were all eating. So we were like, whoa, this was like mind-blowing situation where we were scared out of our freaking minds. I just don't even understand how this happened at that time. I know today's another time and we have rules in place to take care of situations like that, but I just couldn't believe that I myself lived during a time where that was allowable. Another domestic situation that happened was a child in my class was misbehaving, and the teacher called the father, and the father came to school midday, brought out his belt, and started whacking him in front of the whole class to humiliate him. It's sad to say that those things happened, but they did, and I'm glad that when I have a child, there's different things in place that they won't go through that. So needless to say, after 4th grade and after my mom finding a few things out, she took me out of public school and decided to homeschool me. So I started homeschool in 5th grade all the way to 11th grade. And then I went to a Christian school for my last year in high school, which is where I met my husband. So that's the end of my horrific school story. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. And if you have any similar stories of when you were in school and horrible things happened, let me know. I'd like to hear them. You know, thank God I didn't go through anything as far as like a shooting in my school or something, you know, to that extreme. But the things that I did experience, kind of wish I didn't. But they'll forever be with me because they're just those kind of memories that just don't leave. But that's it for story time. I hope you enjoyed this type of video. Let me know if you did by hitting that like button. And if I see a lot of likes, then I will do another storytime video of my most embarrassing moment in college. Be sure to look at the other story times from my friends in the links down below. And we'll see you tomorrow. Remember to love your life. Bye.
Who are you gonna call? Stephanie Fly Hunter.
Oh, flies give me the heebie-jeebies.